Hey guys, Anime Gypsy here with a discussion video, and this is not the normal discussion I usually do on YouTube, as you guys could probably tell. I want to talk about race, and it's less of a discussion and me just letting some baggage off on you guys and just talking to you guys about my experience and explaining to you guys some things that you may not already know. And the reason I'm doing this mainly is because I've met a lot of people who are under the impression that this is dead. That this is something that it doesn't exist anymore. It doesn't exist to the same extent, don't get me wrong. But this is something that people like me have to deal with day in and day out. And it's something I really want to talk about because I just want to raise awareness to this, and I want to talk to you guys whom I believe might. I don't know you who are watching this video, but this might apply to you because people don't see themselves as being sinister. People don't see themselves as being Mr. Evil on the chair, so to speak. People tend to do what they think is right and worry about themselves when they think that they are in threatening situations. And sometimes people think that I am that threatening situation, and I get reported. And this is not something that's happened to me once. This happened to me 2 separate times, one of which was in my dorm. Or in my dorm, in the building that I lived in, my freshman and sophomore year of college. This is not something that rarely happens. Me being reported for being a suspicious person, that happened twice, rarely happens, but me dealing with racism is something that I've experienced a lot. And it's not, like, thank God it's not like this all the time. It's usually the stares of disappointment, the glares of, what are you doing here, go back home, we don't want to hear, you're not welcome. But I'd like to also say this. I have met very kind people here in the States. And I believe that those people outnumber the folk that have hate towards me for things I cannot control, like my heritage or my skin color. And to them I am very thankful. But this is not a discussion about them. This is a discussion about the others. And first and foremost, I would like to raise this point before I go further in this video. This is not a I want to bash white people video. I do not want to bash white people in the video. In fact, this applies to more than just white people, because anyone could be racist. I knew a black guy who said that genocide towards white people would be like the optimal solution. So this does not only apply to white folk. This applies to people, to everyone, because everyone is susceptible to falling victim to something like this, where they end up thinking in this prism of understanding that limits their development, and prevents them from just living in peace with others. There are usually very few people that know that they are racist and cherish that, and in fact support it themselves. I have met one of those people up close and personally in my life. And I was in a production in Footloose or Pippin, I think it was Footloose though. And this was a fellow cast member whom I didn't talk to him much, and he didn't talk to me much either. He basically insulted me during in between, like backstage, in between scene, well, not in between scenes, but during scenes where we were not a part of the scene, and we were in the green room and we were in the waiting room, he called me a sand nigger, and he had some very interesting things to say about my people and my religion. And I never reported that guy, and I never caused a fit because I didn't want to cause trouble. But I just want to say that this is part of a bigger issue, and I'm sure a lot of folk whom are watching this and are of the same color, or are black, or are a part of a minority, or even are white, have experienced a situation in which they have been insulted, degraded, and made fun of simply because of things that they cannot control, like their color and heritage. I honestly think that educating people, and by educating, I don't necessarily mean open a textbook and talk to people. The most effective way I've seen to help people like this is to befriend them and try and change their mind that way. And if they're too stubborn, at least you tried. There was this guy called, actually I'm not going to say his name for obvious reasons. He asked me how many people I've killed when he found out I was an Arab and Muslim. I told him I killed none. This man, I felt straight up angry towards him because it's just the stares and glares of disappointment and all this stuff, you know, I have to deal with, and then that load right there. I ended up actually becoming friends with the guy. And I think I changed the way he thinks because we became friends. And I encourage you guys to do the same because, and I can't believe I'm saying this is the most hippie thing I will probably say in my entire life. Only love could beat hate. It's like a shitty line. It's like a line that a novice writer writes in a play. But I think it's true. As basic and as cliche as that might seem, I don't think insulting those people back will do anything to help this problem. I don't think pushing these guys into a corner will accomplish anything but anger them and make their hatred worse. That is just why I recommend, you know, approaching people like that and trying to befriend them. Finally, if you find yourself in a situation where you're scared of someone who is minding their own business, please don't call the cops. Please don't call campus safety. Mind your own goddamn business and go about your day. Now, this is all I have to say, guys. And if you don't believe me and you're watching this, this thing still exists, find someone who looks like me or is of another minority and talk to them about their experiences. I'm sure they have some as well. Because I've only been in the States for 7 years. And I have a slew of stories to tell. I'm pretty sure your friend who's lived here their entire life has more stories to tell than I do. So talk to them. And think about how people who've lived here in the States their entire life with my skin color, think about how they have had their lives affected by this. Because I can't imagine this being my entire life, to be honest. I can't imagine going to work every day and having that annoying coworker stare at me because of the way I look. At least when I go back to Egypt, I fit in quite well. And I'm proud of that. So, that is all I have to say. And if you got something out of the video, I'm proud. that I achieved that. And if you already knew everything, good for you. All right, see you guys later. Bye.